Hello and welcome to the 21-day skincare trial of our TimeWise Miracle Set. My name is Rachel, and what we're going to do is just really quickly talk about the products themselves and how to use them properly, and then kind of what to expect during this 21-day skincare trial. So the first thing I want to note is that in your packet, you should have received this tracking sheet. And before this, you want to make sure you filled out your pre-profile, that you personally assess how your skin appears to you and feels to you in there's 5 different categories, and that's just going to help us track your skin as we go and see if we're progressing in the right direction, if we maybe need to tweak something, and just have all that feedback. So this is the first thing that I sent with you. This is your 21-day skincare trial tracking sheet. So I've probably already filled your name in up here, and then you can pick what starting date you are gonna go with. So whether that's a weekend for you because you have more time, or you like to start on a Monday, you can pick something within the next week, whatever's gonna work best for you. And then you'll count forward 21 days to figure out what your last date is. That's not overly important, but some people really like to have that all planned out. Now, this is your tracking sheet. It can go right on your mirror if you want to tape it up there, or keep it in your drawer, or whatever you want to do. Keep it somewhere near your products where you're going to fill it out every day. And what this is we are going to fill in morning and evening if you used the skincare. So you're going to put in a smiley face on the section if you did, and you're going to put a sad face if you did not. The reason this is just going to be helpful for you is A, just keeping you accountable, having somewhere to remind you, and then B, if you around week 2, let's say, you start experiencing a little bit of issues or something, we can look back on this and just say like, oh, maybe I went camping that weekend and I wasn't, able to do my skincare, or wasn't very diligent because, you're out of your normal routine. And we can maybe see like, oh, I skipped a couple days, or whatever that might be, and just have that information to see if that plays into the issue or if the issue is caused by something different. So this you can keep right by your skincare in your bathroom and fill this out as you go. It also tells you what days that I'm going to check in with you, and what days we're going to reassess your skin. So that pre-profile that you filled out, we're going to fill that out weekly, and we're just going to see if there's progress. So that's just going to be some feedback for us, saying like, is the skincare working for you? Do we need to change anything? All that good stuff. At any time during this, if I have not checked in with you yet, because it's not, the check-in date, but you have a question, or you just want to let me know, like, I'm seeing this in a positive manner, or I'm seeing this concern pop up, please just shoot me a text and we can address it. We don't have to wait till the check-in date. That's just kind of spaced out so that we can, have something to work with. So that is going to be what you're going to do to track. And what you can expect is typically we're going to really, really see an increase in hydration of your skin, whether you have oily skin or dry skin, because oily skin can be very dehydrated as well. And what that's going to look like for oily skin is it's going to look like your oil's balancing out, where you don't feel as oily. So you're actually replenishing the moisture, and that's going to tell your oil glands to say, hey, we have enough, we don't need to produce more, let's slow that down. If you have dry skin, obviously that's going to be much more comfortable. It's going to look brighter. It's going to feel better. So lots of things with that. I'm just going to show you really quickly what everything looks like and how you're going to use it. There's also going to be a flyer below this video to show what order you want to use everything in, so you can reference that at any time. We always are going to start with our cleanser. So this is our little 4-in-1 cleanser. We always start with cleansing, and we're going to do that morning and evening, just like our tracking sheet said. Typically you want to take care of your skin in the morning and in the evening because there's different things happening at different times. Our skin can't produce moisture beyond that kind of 8 to 12 hour window on its own, so we need to replenish it. And also we're encountering a lot of stuff throughout the day that we need to clean off of our skin. And then in the evening, our pillowcase is super, super dirty. So in the morning, believe it or not, our skin really, really needs a good cleanse after laying on that. And also we need hydration again because our pillowcase is sitting there absorbing everything out of our face. So we definitely need to do it in the morning and evening if possible. So the 4-in-1 cleanser, you're just going to take like a pea size. You might need a little more in the beginning of this trial. You might notice you use a little more moisturizer, a little more of everything because your skin is lacking those nutrients and those ingredients. And so it might be absorbing a lot of it and saying like, oh, we like this, we want more. And then as it goes on, that might kind of decline and then plateau out a little bit more of saying like, oh, I don't need as much moisturizer. I can tell that my face has retained some moisture and it's not seeking as much. So this much, you can go a little bit more. I like to rub it between my fingers without water, and then I like to rub it under the sink or run it under the water, and then we're gonna just go ahead and cleanse everywhere for like 30 seconds or so, 30 to 45 seconds in an upward-outward motion, making sure we do our forehead, our nose, all around our face, and we can do our neck. And then if you're doing this in the shower, you can always do this area too because all of this skin ages and we should really be doing our skincare from the top of our head all the way down. So I'm going to rinse my hands really quickly. And when you're using a cleanser that's formulated for your skin, that makes such a huge difference because oily girls need a little more cleansing and dry girls need a little less cleansing, and then oily girls need a little more or a little less moisturizing, or just like kind of a thinner, less dense moisturizing, and dry girls need a little bit more hydrating in that moisturizer. So if you have dry skin and you find this to be very sensitive, like I just cleansed, my face feels like it is stripped of everything, it is super tight, super uncomfortable, and just feeling kind of sensitive, or you have like a mini breakout, what I'm going to suggest that you do, or maybe if you know you have that skin already, let's start with once a day. You can choose morning or evening, but just cleanse once a day. And then we're going to check in at day 2 and we're going to notice, some things, especially by week 1, and then we can adjust. But sometimes we can't cleanse that much right away because we don't have enough moisture in our face to remove with a cleanser. We need to back that down. So if that is something that you feel you would feel more comfortable starting with once a day, your skin is going to like that better, please do that. So the next step is our antioxidant moisturizer. So we're just going to put a thin layer of this, and I'm going to show you how I like to apply moisturizer, especially once you have more on your face. There's actually 2 methods, so I'll show you both. Again, this is super concentrated. If you feel greasy when you put this on, you've used too much. So next time, back it down. And these tubes, when they're full, they come out super fast. You barely touch it, see, and it pops out. So that's probably still going to happen to you, but I've warned you. You don't need to squeeze it hard. So I'm going to use about this much, and I just want to show you how much moisturizer there really is here. We have very concentrated, very dense products. So if I put this all, like I could dot it around my face and then rub it around. I like to put it between my fingers and pat into the skin if I have very dehydrated skin, so I'm really concentrating the product everywhere. But one thing I don't like to do is I don't like to start here, because wherever you start, if you just put all your moisturizer here and then try to go outward, this area usually needs a little less moisturizer because it's a little more oily in general. Our skin just works that way. This needs a little bit more usually. But all of your product is going to be sitting here, and then you can't rub it out. Like, it will be there and it's really hard to move outward. So I wouldn't suggest that method. But I want to show you quickly how much we have. Like, look at how much is there. And I have a bunch over here. Like, there's a ton of products. So something I like to do is I like to grab a little bit off my finger like this, and then I will put it here and just see how far I can move that. And really working towards the outward edges, and then I kind of use the excess around my nose and around my mouth and that middle area. So I'm going to grab a little bit more, and I'm going to do my forehead here, and just, it will really, once you've started to rehydrate your skin, it's going to start moving really well. So like, I can already tell I have a lot there, so I'm going to move it to my chin. and just kind of move it around. And then you can also do your neck. I have a little bit here that came out, so both sides of your neck. And you just need a lot less product than you think, except for sometimes in the beginning we do need more. And then I would use maybe like that patting method to really concentrate it and get it everywhere it needs to go. Because if your skin isn't exfoliated well yet and it's not smooth yet, our product tends to stick. Once it's hydrated, it tends to really glide. The last step during the morning is our Daytime Defender sunscreen, broad spectrum with SPF 30. Even if it's winter, we want to use this every day, and we want to use it on top of the moisturizer, so it's like the last layer. It's a shield around our face. This is also going to protect against free radicals, blue light aging, pollution, and a whole list of other things. So this also, a little goes a long, long way. So go ahead and use that, but use it sparingly. It will move. So that's our daytime regimen. We're going to cleanse, moisturize, and then use our Daytime Defender, okay? And then in the evening, it's just a little bit different. We start with cleansing again, then we're gonna use our Nighttime Recovery Serum. This also glides really well, and it has fresh vitamins A, C, and E in it, as well as resveratrol and other really great peptides to repair our skin while we sleep. That's why we want to use it at nighttime. So if you want to really change the look of your skin, hydration obviously is key, but also if you want like the reversal of like damage and all that stuff, that happens at nighttime. So that's where anti-aging comes in, and this is a huge anti-aging product for that, but it's super easy to use. So at nighttime, we're cleansing, then we're using our Nighttime Recovery Serum, because anything that's going to change our skin, we want that as close to the skin as possible, and the moisturizer is like always a last layer that's going to protect all of that and sink it in. So at nighttime, then our last step is moisturizer, okay? So there's always 3 steps, but we just change them out in the morning, the day and night serum, and switch that order a teeny bit. So if you have any questions before you get started, please shoot me a text and we will figure out whatever you have questions about, make sure everything's ready to go. And I'm super excited for you to get started.